Send me a request.
All right, there you go.
Hey, everybody, it's Mac. Today's a very special day. First, because we have Ken Yu speaking, but this is our 1 year anniversary. We've been using this tool every week outside of we took off for Christmas and New Year's because they happened to fall on Tuesday this past year. So it's a milestone for us. We are trying to present and make visible the tools that veterans, law enforcement, and first responders need to transition from their service career into their own business career and be successful doing it. Hopefully, they avoid the two by four that everybody in business gets hit upside the head with. Um, Ken, we've only known each other for a short while, but um, I've enjoyed learning about your story. And I think people need to know a little bit about it. I know that you're living in Colorado Springs. You're not originally from Colorado, neither am I. Uh, but maybe you can talk about your own journey of transition and how you not only what you offer and how you help people, but what lessons did you have to learn in your own process?
Right, for sure. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to, greet you guys as a for the milestone that you guys have achieved. Happy first year anniversary then. So I am Ken from PixelBuddy Solutions. So I started as a um, virtual assistant way back when I was in the Philippines, and then that's where I actually see the value of being a VA to to the client here in the United States, because for us as a VA back then, it was life changing. Because imagine I get to earn $1 and spending it in a Philippine peso, and that's what actually strive us to do more, and to also acquire more skills, develop more skills in order for us to help business owners or who are our clients here in America. And so 3 years ago, that's when we decided to do a bold move. Me and my wife got an offer to become, a permanent resident here in America, because my wife was offered to be a nurse in one of the facilities here in UC Health, and together with that, we came in as a package. So when I got here, I started also working in a hospital, and then that's when I realized why not just start a business wherein I'm actually familiar, good at. So that's that's when I started this PixelBuddy Solutions way back 2024. It has been a great journey. So far, I could tell we have helped a lot of clients. They're very happy and also made a lot big difference being the bridge of our clients and also to the VAs from the Philippines. So yeah, that's my journey. And so maybe I could start with my presentation. Am I right with that, Mike?
Sounds good, Ken. I think it's pretty remarkable. My grandmother came over on the boat in the late 1800s from Ireland. And, so I'm in tune to that because it's only two generations apart. But it's really what this country has been built on about people coming, and I don't actually like the word assimilate. It makes me think of the Borg and Star Trek. But you become part of helping the country build. And it's why most veterans fight so that this country gets stronger. And I really appreciate your efforts and what you're doing. And I'll get a little emotional about that fact of it, just knowing who I am. But yeah, go ahead and start with your stuff. I know there's going to be a lot of questions as we move forward.
All right. Well, yeah, feel free to ask them along the way. Don't worry about interrupting it. So, let's start with defining what virtual assistant is, or a VA. Just to prevent confusion, when I say a VA, I'm referring to, just for this presentation, it's a virtual assistant, because I know a VA could stand as a veteran, right? So, and yeah, a virtual assistant, which if you are not familiar with it, is a remote professional who handles the tasks that slows business owners down. Some of these tasks are admin, operations, marketing, such as maintaining and building your CRM, such as go high level, customer support, answering phone calls or making outbound calls, lead management, and more, because they are not just an assistant. One thing that you would probably realize when you have a VA, or probably you already have one, is they become like an engine that keeps your business running smoothly behind the scenes, especially if you pair them with AI nowadays, right? So so who we are? We're PixelBuddy Solutions. We're based here in Colorado. Because I started this company because I see really the value of being a business owner and having like a person who has a lot of experience to help you out with those admin tasks. Because us business owners have a lot of like problems that we have to deal with every day, and even for me myself, I can't really like, say have like a full day off, because I have to think of for our business and as to for process improvement, or anything that we can improve on. So because here's the truth, business owners aren't struggling because they lack really effort. They're struggling because they're operating with blind spots, and these blind spots are hidden inefficiencies, outdated processes, and missed opportunities that quietly drain the revenue. Like you're not able to join in networking. You're not able to do follow ups because you're stuck with doing or editing your podcast thing, which would take hours, or editing your video, and so this is where it would make sense on how you can use like a tool and a VA, because here are some struggles that most business owners like us struggle with. So there's just really too many tasks. I wish we could just replicate ourselves, right? And then we multiply ourselves and then do those tasks that are not working, and do those admin works. And another thing is, if we also have to hire a full-time employee, it would cost us a lot. I mean, it's gonna be too expensive. Other than a project based would be better. And hourly also, being outsourced would also make more sense, right? And burnout from managing everything alone is really real. I mean, I did experience that one. So before I really expanded and hire more person to help me out. So to revisit, because our time being business owners is, should you spend in growing our business, like focus on marketing, investing more on our tools, and not managing just those small tasks, that email management or responding, making follow-ups. And honestly, this is where virtual VAs or virtual buddies from PixelBuddy Solutions come in. When you have time later on, feel free to visit our website at www.pixelbuddysolutions.com. That was also done or made by my VAs, because honestly, I don't also know how to use how to create websites, so I have to delegate that to someone who's more skillful. So common questions is, once they hire a VA, the problem there is, majority of the business owners who hire a VA doesn't know how to effectively use them. So here are some steps to help you out once you start to delegate those tasks. You may need to identify those repetitive tasks, which is, again, for my case, every day I wake up in the morning, I need to list up my priorities on my Slack. We use it Slack. So whichever needs my attention and response in this day or tomorrow, or something like that. So my VA will be the one to manage it for me, prioritize them. Depends on you. Some of my clients would prefer doing some labeling or color in their Google to categorize them as important, not so important, or maybe make it some follow-ups. Then you can create a simple process, because every company has different process. it would be a lot easier if you have one, because a VA or a virtual assistant can easily follow them through and make it their like a Bible, or like the day-to-day task or the flow. And lastly, that's when you would identify from those lists which ones are you going to delegate. Um, because I know not all the tasks can be delegated, especially for me. I'm kind of like a control freak, not really a control freak, but I don't usually delegate, say, client interactions, because I want to have that strong connection with our clients, and we as an owner know our products and services more than VA, right? We don't want to have like any false promises there. So what I delegate to them are just those pretty admin tasks, like editing videos, um, creating contents, and all stuff. So, lastly, once you fully delegate them, those tasks, you could now focus on high value work, wherein you attend more networking. Instead of doing the edits, you can have another hour for you to get that uh, catch up meeting with your client to make sure there's a stronger relationship month over month, and um, everything will be addressed as well if there's any problem. So you might wonder, what type of tasks can I delegate, right? So these are just an examples of those tasks that you can delegate. When if your business is into digital marketing, sales, lead generation, it could take a lot of your time, especially if you are going to do that an hour a day. Imagine that's 10 hours. I mean, 7 hours a week of just doing that, other than just delegating, right? um, so other admin tasks, operational tasks. So some of our clients would also, I have one client who hires like a team of developers, and they had like a one project manager, so that he could just focus on really client acquisition. Another thing is the customer support here, like follow up, especially if you're not so technical, but then your business involves more of, say, troubleshooting and all those stuff. You could also delegate those to a VA. And what's funny is that um, we could support almost all industry except healthcare, because healthcare, we're not HIPAA certified yet. I mean, I don't know where to start there, but maybe soon. That's something that I am willing to support. And one thing I would want to share to you is, we were also able to support food industry. We were able to um, match our client of ours, a food scientist VA, and it's so there's a mystery there, because imagine the VA from the Philippines is just doing the experiment of the food and also the wine, and then he just provides feedback to the clients here in Las Vegas, just to alter the flavor and color of that specific wine and cava. It's really amazing. It's a unique role. That's something also I'm proud of. And from research and content organization to slide structure, our VAs turn ideas into professional presentation. Like what I said, um, you don't have to learn if there's like a new AI tool, such as like or a CRM platform such as Go High Level. You just have to let the VA know what do you want as a result, and then the VA would actually make it happen for you. And the good thing about that is a VA can express and tell us, in layman's term, because sometimes if it's too technical, even for me, I get to get lost and not able to really comprehend or understand it correctly. So imagine what a virtual buddy can do really for your business. So our hourly range could start from $10 up to maybe $17 an hour. That depends on the specific role. The highest that we have, we're in $17, is because that role is very unique. It's a level 3 software engineer, so it's really competitive. So that's why we have to actually have the rate a little bit higher to get more of those right individuals to apply, or at least to match, because we are really looking for long-term relationship. and we don't want that our VA would just start for 3 months and then we'll just quit because find a better job or find a better offer and something like that. So so these are again the examples of the type of the VAs and what they could support from different types of businesses. And you might wonder why we have minimum hours of at least 10 hours per week. It's to provide consistency. Because at least 2 hours per day would really have like a difference wherein they could create contents, they could respond to all inquiries, and they could also update you guys or the clients with their end of day reports. So that's we did accept a project base before where it just is an hour or two, but it creates a lot of stress in my end because what happened there is like the client would actually be the one chasing for the availability of our VAs instead of the other way around. Our VA should be the one adjusting to the availability of the client. So in today's world, AI is really a thing, right? But again, AI there is not really to completely replace the VAs, but and also other jobs, but it's actually to make the job more efficient, right? So imagine if you could combine both. So these are some of the strengths of a virtual body on the left and also with the AI strength. If you are going to combine them together, it works very perfectly. And it would make your process even more smooth and efficient. So you might wonder who are our clients, who we support. So we have our financial services, entrepreneurs, real estate, e-commerce, technology is the most, um, construction, accounting firms, and other, especially small businesses. Now, on a website, you could also see the testimonies from our clients and who we work with. So, just for the interest of time, I'm just skipping it because so that I could answer some of your questions here. And another thing is we do value our contractors or who are our virtual assistants. So every time they get to receive positive feedbacks from our clients, we provide a shout out to our specific community. I mean, in Slack, and these are the most recent ones, and they're the real people from the Philippines. They're acting. Their role is as executive assistant, and also technical tech support. So much for that. And recently, we always have our yearly, like any other company, we always have our yearly strat plan. And during this time, we gather with some of our VAs, and especially for my admin VAs to revisit our plan for the entire year and um, see on things we can improve on and the things that we can continue in working on. So just I'll probably just share this link later on here or drop it on the chat because that the video could take maybe 5 minutes, but this is us. I mean them. Last year I was able to join, but this year I wasn't. Um, so they just do a meet and greet, have fun, and celebrate on what we have achieved for the second year. When we reestablish our goals and reconnect with our clients as well, and of course, giving them also like a day or two to have fun, not just work, right? Because that's what I'm trying to build a community as well to provide support to our clients. So I think I'll open here the area for questions. Like what I said, I'm going to share this flip book later on today. And one thing wanted to mention that this flip book was also done by a VA, and I was just here to review and do that presentation. So yeah, thank you for that opportunity, Mac, and everyone for listening.
Yeah, we'll open it up for questions. You know, VA or the term, the acronym for virtual assistant has really become very generic. Uh, and we have other people that are doing it, but how does somebody understand, short of having a conversation, why I would use you as a VA versus using other people, some people in the room right now. Um, Cheap is good, prices are good, but how that doesn't always mean it's the best for what I need, and that's normally where the position I come from. Um, and I may have told you when we talk, and I started off with a VA 5, 6 years ago, and the person I was working with literally changed every day. And so I would have these conversations of what I was looking for, what I needed. I had them building a lot of campaigns, and then one day it was in Germany, then it was the Philippines, then it was in Mexico, then it was in Brazil, and they were sending out campaigns that actually got me in a lot of trouble because they were suggesting things with my business that wasn't in compliance. Now I don't know that, and it was cheap. It was like $100, 99 bucks, I think was their name, a month for everything they did. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that's where you're at. How do you correct that? How do you build up confidence in the people that you have for whatever specific job it is? I mean, you talked about the high tech guys where there's a higher rate and stuff, but how do you match your workers to your clients so there's longevity? And part of that, are you always the intermediary? Or does your clients get to talk to the VA so they're teaching them what they need directly?
Great question, Mac. So, think of us like a matchmakers. So how it works is we identify first business needs. We don't just assign VAs to specific clients. That's where consultation and endorsement would come in. It would involve like maybe 3 calls before we really delegate a VA. So first is I would need to talk to the potential client and ask about the business, what type of tools they're using, what type of VA did they need, and also the hours that are required. And after that, that's when we position it, and I hand it over to our recruitment, who actually look for the right person in our database, and that's when we delegate we endorse them to the client, and then our client will be able to see the portfolios of those top 3 candidates that we have identified, and then using those portfolios, our client would be able to maybe identify which one would they want to meet with, and then from there our client will be it's optional, will be able to conduct that interview for them, and feel free to able to at least also provide some feedback if they see this VA as a right fit for him or her. And after that, we always have check-ins, like during the first week. We want to make sure if everything has been addressed, if our client really has made the right decision in getting that VA, so that we can identify if there's an early problem that we have to fix or not. And um, I do understand, but VAs is too general, and what we specialize is more of tech, which I do know Julia is very good at, like social media management and project management too. So that's one. Now, for the cheap though, honestly, the $10 an hour is really not cheap in the Philippines. I mean, maybe for us it is, but for the people in the Philippines, that's actually like a life changer. When people hear, $10 an hour in the Philippines, we would assume it's a cheap labor, but it's not. It's competitive, a professional pay in a country where the cost of living is very different from United States. At $10 an hour, a Filipino is earning. That's an equivalent of a strong corporate salary, I would say. Even me, I I graduated as a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, but I did not pursue in that career because we're paid like maybe just $300 a month in the Philippines. So that's why I ditched that role. I mean, I ditched that job because it's also not my choice. It's my parents' choice. And then I like really admin stuff. So um when I was hired as a VA, that's when, life changed, especially for me and my family.
Well, and I learned that a long time ago. Uh, I went down to Cancun and they were cleaning the room as I was checking in. I had my wife and our best friends that were there. We were sharing a multi-bedroom room at the resort, and the gal was the housekeeper was literally on her knees polishing the floor. And I'm trying to get rid of her. I mean, I want to change my clothes and get out to the ocean and stuff. And I gave her a $5 tip in that. I had no idea that was like 2 days' wages. And that I couldn't get rid of this girl for the rest of the week I was there. And then somebody told me even the Levi factory where that was located there, they were making $2 a day and that. And so, I understand when you're saying that, you're paying $10 an hour where it's a big deal to the worker. Uh, uh, Although here, we may think, you know, well, that's not even a living. So
Right.
I do understand that part. Do if I were to come to you, how would the interview process go with you to identify my needs?
So first of all, we would ask if you already have a website so that at least we can do our own research or maybe a LinkedIn profile first, and then we can, during once we get into a call, that's where I could ask the right questions like type of industry, what's your expectation or VA, what type of support would you need, like skill sets required and all stuff. And for us, we don't just pair or match you with a VAs who's new. We always endorse only those has 2 or 3 years experience in supporting industries such as yours.
So you're not just giving somebody uh, a body, giving them a task. You're matching the skills that they represent. I,
Yeah.
I guess, and I saw Maggie had her hand up. But it's my curiosity is I don't want to become educated and go high level. You mentioned, I'm using that. The VA I have understands it. A couple other people that I work with are co-administrators on it because they understand it.
Hmm.
I need to ask them where do I go to find what they're telling me they did because I don't want to know. I just want to,
Exactly.
I just want it to work. I want to push the button and know that it works.
Uh,
And that so what is your process to identify what my needs are? Because I don't know what I don't know.
All right. Well, usually, that's kind of like tricky because I can't also like say identify if you're not telling me what you don't know. Sometimes, we could get those answers along the way. That's why, the first week of catch up meeting with a client and the third week meeting would make more sense because that's when the VA could also provide a feedback as to after working with this client, I think he needs this and he needs that. I think we can, position ourselves that, that the client would be needing like a new tool or maybe someone else who has more experience with marketing if his focus is really for marketing.
Okay. Yeah, because in looking at it, we all know that there's busy work that is essential to get done, but is that where I'm using my best time? I
Mm.
consider myself a negotiator or a salesperson or bringing people together and having the discussion. I don't want to be doing all the social media and the campaigns and even like for the mastermind here, letting everybody know ahead of time who's going to be talking, putting it up on YouTube,
Yeah.
and that I don't want to do that, and that I just want it to magically appear after it's all done. And so I think that, for so many of us, we know that there's duplicatable tasks that have to be done so the business runs effectively, efficiently.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do it because that may mean an hour a day, 5 hours a day, just to keep up to it. And if I can
That,
get somebody, and I put, a $300 an hour value on my time, and I can get somebody to do it for 10 or 20 or $30 an hour, and that hopefully I'm out doing what I'm supposed to be doing, helping people with funding or distribution. And I'm, still making $150 an hour for my time, even though I'm paying people to do this other work. So I love the process that you're talking about. I think that so many new business people don't understand all these tools. And it's interesting watching. I was on Kathy's call just before this, and talking about speaking and how to communicate and how to let people know. Being on a mastermind like that, and you brought that up. If I had to be doing something, looking something up, and doing the research and putting it into my language, I'm not getting to listen to her, or I don't get to listen to Maggie talk about all the pitfalls of ignoring cybersecurity. So I love the fact that you're doing this. Maggie, did you actually have a question? You're muted.
I did. I'm kind of confused. Are you a virtual assistant or are you a recruiter for other virtual assistants?
we are a virtual assistant agency. We're like matchmakers, or who recruits the VAs and match it with our clients.
Okay. Would and you talked about that like, and I apologize, I'm really confused. You have a meeting and you tell them, or like if I were to go to you, you would tell me what you feel I need, not me telling you, okay, I need this, and this. Is that correct?
It could actually go both ways. So that's when I would have to listen to example to you as to what you need, and then after we review it, maybe that's when the time we can make some suggestions. For instead of like building three people or hiring three people, maybe we can just get you one which has the same skill sets.
Okay,
So
so there would be the potential of having three different virtual assistants.
Depends on what you need. For example, if you're a software developer, and then software developers often hires full stack developers, back end, front end, and project management. So depends on the role. So
Okay.
yeah, so
Okay,
that's
thank
when.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, but the goal here is really not to provide you with a perfect VA, but the right VA for your business.
For whatever task
Yeah,
you're looking
you're
for.
looking to delegate.
Mm. Oh, it makes sense. Any other questions? Ken, did you,
I have one
I
just because
guess
I'm
the QR
curious.
code helps us get into, I'm sorry, somebody was talking, Julia?
Yeah, I'm just curious. The VAs that you have in the Philippines, are they independent contractors or are they employees of PixelBuddy?
They are independent contractors.
Okay, just curious. Cool.
Which is a benefit for you tied in, some people don't understand I was an independent contractor my whole career. The positive thing for the up to 30 brands that I represented is they didn't pay expenses, they didn't pay pension, they didn't pay taxes, and that the what was good for me, they couldn't tell me when I had to show up. I was paid strictly on performance of selling something, and I usually got paid 60 to 90 days later after the orders went in, but I was in control of my time, and they couldn't tell me that something was competitive to them. Um, so it can be a good situation if you're motivated that way, and that for you in your business, not having to deal with taxes and matching pension programs and health insurance, that can be a very good thing.
That
And
is right.
most businesses and the people that are listening to this afterwards needs to look at the advantages of an independent contractor versus an employee, and that because employees can be a pain in the ass. So, yeah, I'm just blunt about it. So the few employees that I had always thought that it was up to me to take care of them, even if they didn't do the job. So, but excuse me. Any other questions today? Well, Ken, I'll get this recording over to you so that you can use it. It'll be up on the youtube.com/Veterans Achieve Business Systems channel. You can look at all the previous speakers that we've had, and I think it's something like 50 since we are celebrating 1 year this week. Um, Happy 4th of July to America's 250th birthday, which is pretty cool. I've already bought ribeyes for my grill. And travel safe if you're traveling. I think you're kind of goofy if you're traveling on a summer holiday. But have a good time, drive safely. Remember the cops that are working this weekend have no sense of humor because they want to be at the barbecue too. So don't be drinking and driving. And next week we have Jim Wilkinson talking, and um, this will be Jim's second time. His first one was about how he helps people with their inventions and their ideas. Next week is going to be more directed at a business plan, how to write a business plan, and the importance of a business plan. So I believe it's going to be a very good uh, chat that we have next week. But reach out, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. I appreciate you all coming. Have a great week. We'll see you now. Bye.
Before, thank you.